Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. I have some news. Now, I'm not really going to do a lot to lead up to this because as of right now, I don't even have subscribers. So it's not like there's any awaited thing that people have been waiting on, awaited thing that people... Anyways, I'm going to be starting a candle business. I'm starting a candle business and I kind of want to document it for a couple reasons. One, so later on down the line, when I look back, I can be like, girl, you did not know what she was doing. Why would... What? Like, I can still look back and see what I used to do, though. And then two, the type of wax that I'm working with is 454. That's what I want. I've never used it, but I'm set on that. That's what I want to use. And there's just not a lot of information. Like, you can find it in some spots. There's a couple things on Reddit that talk about it, but that's the only place I really found it. And then if you go to the websites like Candle Science and stuff. So I want to learn what I can about this wax so I can tell other people about it, since there's not a lot of information. You can find so many things about 464. You can find so many things about 444, but you cannot find anything about 454. What is up with that? No, we got to change that. So I will be the one, okay? I will be the one. And lastly, I feel that this is something that God has called me into, and I want every part, every aspect of it to be able to bring him glory. I feel like just leaving that on, like the candles I'll be making or whatever else I might end up creating, I feel like that's not enough. I want to be able to share the process with people, because my backstory into this is a little bit different than other people, which we about to get into that. But as for right now, I'm just saying, like, I want people to be able to look at it and know the backstory and see how far it came and be like, oh, God really did his thing in that, because it's not about me, it's about him, if that makes sense. So let's get into it. So a little backstory on this. Since I was a kid, I've always... Oh, there was a squirrel and it scared me. Okay, since I was a kid, I've always liked to create things and then sell them and be a little business owner. Okay, I always knew, like, I would like to be my own boss someday. I don't want to always have to work for people. Like I said, as a kid, no lie, I sold jewelry that I made, handmade jewelry, to the ice cream man as a child. And no, I did not buy ice cream from him. I just sold him the jewelry and I left it at that. Anyways, when I was, what year was it? 2021, I was 19. I started a lip gloss business. I don't think I made but like a handful of sales, and it was just like friends and family. Didn't really go anywhere with that. It was very sloppily and last minute put together. I don't know why I felt like I wanted to do that. I mean, really, real talk, side note, we gonna have some of those. I was at a point and I was like, okay, God, either I'm going to go into firefighting, because I actually went to school for that in high school. We had a career center. Anyways, I went there for firefighting. I thought I was going to pursue that, or I was going to start a business. And I was just like, which one should I do? And I felt like God was telling me to start a business. Not so that business could succeed, but just so I didn't go be a firefighter and possibly die. But anyways, I'll get into that another time. That was my first business. Then in 2022, it was after I got married and I was pregnant. I was just looking for an extra way for us to bring in money, so I started selling cheesecake cups, and it did pretty good. And I realized I loved baking. Like, I already knew I liked baking, but I like rediscovered that I like baking. So I started a little baking business called Sweet Spot Bakery, and it did pretty good. Like, there was times where I was more busy, times when I wasn't, times when I was pursuing it more, and times when I wasn't. But all around, it did pretty decent. If I really needed, okay, we need to get some extra cash, I could just promote it a lot and I'd get an order. That did good. I did that up until last February, March last year. I actually started selling in a business. Like, I would go fill up a fridge there with my cheesecake cups. My daughter's crying. Okay, she's gonna be here with me because I don't want her to cry. Anyways, hi. So yeah, that stopped because I was selling in a business, but I didn't have any proper licensing. Like, I just want to make that very clear. For neither of these businesses I go through and get an LLC, anything. For my baking business, I had a food handler's permit, and I had done, we have a farmer's market locally, and I had done that the year before, and it was pretty good. But I was selling through a business, and pretty much the health department, like the business at the time was like really big because they had recently opened ish. It was a new place that they were at, and so it was big. A lot of people were going. It was getting a lot of traffic. There was like people from other states hearing about it. And so my cheesecake, man, I would go stock it, and then they would call me later that day and be like, hey, you're gonna need to come restock this because you're almost out. I was selling, okay? Because of that and all the publicity that the place was getting, the health department ended up finding out that they were selling food when they didn't have a permit to sell food, and obviously I didn't even have a permit to sell food. Nothing was wrong with it. It wasn't like, oh, something nasty. Like, it was just, they're trying to make money. Everything about money, unfortunately. So I decided, I was actually almost 9 months pregnant with her, and I just decided, like, okay, maybe it's the time I can take a break from business, because I have 2 other kids besides her. I have a almost 2-year-old, a almost 3-year-old, and she's almost 1. So yeah, I was like, well, this is just opportunity to slow down a little bit and focus on being a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So that's what I did. Well, this past November 2024, this whole year I've gotten more involved with a church. I had a lot of church hurt. I'll get into that another time. But the church I'm at, I really love, and they're like family. So I've been more involved with the church, and it's a Monday night class that I go to. Kind of our leader for the class, he was telling us just to be praying about like our vision, what we feel like God's purpose for us is, things like that, which I had kind of stopped thinking about it because I was like, I'm just being a mom right now, and that's a very important role. I'm not saying it's not, because anytime I talk about this, people are like, well, you're doing the most important job. I know being a mom is a very rewarding job. You're blessed to be able to be a mom, but it's also okay to do other things. Just want to put that out there too. It's okay to do other things. You don't have to be a mom 24/7. I mean, you do, but you can do other things on top of it. So he had us just think about, pray about, try to hear God, seek God out. What should we be doing? Like, what is our calling? What is our purpose? What is his vision for us? And so I had been praying about this for a couple months now. I didn't feel like I was hearing Marley. I didn't feel like I was hearing too much. Which it wasn't God not being loud. It was just me not listening. Finally, one night, I could not sleep. This was, like I said, November. I could not sleep. Normally when I can't sleep, I just take that as a time like, okay, I need to talk to God. Like, it's going to help. So I start praying, and all of a sudden, like, I'm just thinking about candles. Which I'm not going to say is weird for me, because I love candles and I love hygiene. I just love things that smell good. Okay, I like to smell good, and I love my house to smell good, all that type of stuff. It's not weird for me to think about candles, but I was like, why am I thinking about candles? Well, I'm trying to pray about God's vision for my life. I just kind of stopped for a second, and I'm like, okay, God, like, just silence the things that I don't need to be focusing on right now and make your voice louder. And I go right back to praying, and it was like screaming, not like screaming, but it was just louder. It was like amplified. It was just like candles, candles, candles. I was like, God, is this you? So I pressed into that more, and I was like, candle business, just creating candles, things like that. I'm like, wow. So I took, a couple days to pray on it, make sure like there's no selfish ambition coming from it. Like, is this really something coming from God, or is this just something I want him to say? Which I felt like that wasn't really the case, because I had not thought about making candles. I'd actually had people mention it to me before, like, oh, you like candles so much, why don't you just make your own? And then I found out the process to make candles. I was like, not for me. I do not want to do all that. So I already knew that making candles was a hard process. So I was like, I don't think this is for me, because this is something I have thought about and I did not want to do. But when God says move, we move. I started doing my research, and I started getting in touch with the people I need to get in touch with. As of January 4th, 2025, my LLC it's there. Okay, I have an LLC. I am a business now. I'm still talking with people on like things I need to get set up. I'm talking with banks right now because my EIN paperwork, I thought it was wrong, so I didn't save the paper. If you ever try to get an LLC and EIN, then you know what I'm talking about. When they send you that paper and they're like, oh, you can download as a PDF or you can get it mailed to you. And I just deleted it completely. Anyways, so I'm waiting on that to get in the mail. It's coming a little bit late. It should be here between today and next Friday. Should be, but we know how the mail is. So, But yeah, I'm excited. I got all my little things waiting in the carts on Candle Science, and I think another place. Just waiting waiting to be bought. But I gotta, like I said, I gotta get that EIN paperwork, and then I gotta get a bank account set up, which I also know I already went and talked with them last Monday at the bank. I'm pretty sure that's the bank I'm going to go with. I just gotta wait for that paperwork to come in so I can open the account. And I think I have to still get my merchant retail, whatever, if you know, you know. I still have to get that. I'm just waiting because I was like, what's the rush if I don't even have a bank account yet? Like, I want all my purchases to come out of the bank account. That way I can get that money back, that tax write-off. I want all that. Anyways, like, that is just kind of my general overview of what is going on. The business that I'm going to be creating as a mom of 3, stay-at-home mom of 3. Definitely gonna be trying to go into more detail on different things about it, especially the point, like, what's the point of my business? Why is it here? You know, why can't it just be any other candle business? I definitely want to talk about that. As I'm able to start ordering things, I want to do hauls of what I'm getting. Obviously, once I'm testing, talk about the testing processes, especially with it being the 454 wax, because there's just not a lot of information about it. So let me find that information out for you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to watch a business get built from the ground up, I'm talking, like I said, we got 3 kids. Okay, we're a young family. Me and my husband are both 23. We do not have it all together right now. But yeah, if you're interested in that and watching me build this brand, build this business with God, okay, then go ahead and subscribe and like the video and ask me a question. I don't know, tell me your name, something. But thank you guys for watching. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.